Welcome back, CBSPhilly.com/Rich, on Twitter at Rich Zeoli, the author of the book, In Trump We Trust, the Pluribus Awesome, our buddy Ann Coulter. And you were on fire on Twitter up until the vote was pulled on Friday. Happy Monday. How do you feel today?
Well, I'm glad it was pulled, but I'm still sitting back wondering, are we the last people in America who understand the free market? We buy all of our other products on the free market. Why can't I buy health insurance on the free market? Well, the answer is because this particular welfare program, Obamacare, in some cases our welfare, is paid through our insurance premiums, as opposed to most welfare programs. Whether you're poor or in the case of health, you're just unlucky. You have a kid or you yourself have some very expensive medical problem. Okay, you can't buy health insurance on the free market. That's a welfare case. I say that with no animosity, at least with some of them. Right. And who cares if I'm saying it with animosity with the other? We're not letting anyone die in the street. But those are separate cases, the pre-existing conditions ones. But why do the rest of us have to pay for all of that through insurance premiums, which ends up meaning our premiums are through the roof, the deductibles are through the roof, we can't go see doctors we want. Give us the free market. It's very simple. Just one sentence saying there shall be a free market in health insurance, which Congress, of course, has full constitutional authority to do. The Constitution says you regulate interstate commerce. Just let us have a free market. And I'm launching my plan this week in my column that goes up Wednesday, in a plan so simple even a Republican congressman can understand. That's really all you need. Keep the rest of Obamacare so that no one protests. Ryan did exactly the reverse. He wants to start with, sure, we'll give you big government and welfare, Democrats, but ours will be more crabbed, and you won't get as much stuff. No, let them keep getting everything they want, but let the rest of us escape the system the way, Congress did. They exempted themselves from Obamacare. Exempt me.
Well, listen, I agree with you 100% on that. The free market, one word, free market. But what do you say to people who would argue that no matter what this bill said, we had to pass it, we had to give President Trump a win?
I think Trump was just being nice to Ryan.
Yeah?
I know I'm a little starry-eyed, but I'm holding the Emperor God Trump harmless on this. Every president only has a few big issues that he can push through. The reason Trump won this astonishing victory, despite never being in politics before and not really being, until now, anybody's idea of a president, was because of immigration, trade, jobs, putting Americans first. He should be building the wall. Most of the things he said on immigration, as I covered in my previous book, Adios America, most of the things he wants to do on immigration, he doesn't need Congress for. It's just enforcing the law. And what is the executive branch's job? Their job is to enforce the law. That's basically all he has to do. But instead of really, he's just come in. He still has to appoint lots and lots of people. But I think he should just get going on immigration. Immigration makes everything easier. Crime goes down. Drug addiction goes down. Joblessness goes down. The taxes go down because we're not paying for all of these legal and illegal immigrants who are vastly more likely to be accepting government assistance than the native-born population. Everything gets easier if Trump would just deal with immigration. And what are the Republicans doing in Congress? I mean, they weren't coming in from being developers. Most of them are incumbents winning their same jobs back. They've had 7 years to work on Obamacare. They have their same staff, same offices. Trump, in this time, has issued 2 travel bans, nominated a Supreme Court justice, has begun an enormous staffing job with the executive branch. It'll probably be much longer than your average president, but, another 6 months until he has all of his positions full. Issued all kinds of fantastic executive orders, yelled at CEOs to tell them to bring the jobs back. Well, in all that time, what has Congress been doing? They come up with the worst of all possible worlds. Like I say, you need to nothing is going to work on health care until you decouple the welfare cases from the free market cases. So what do? They go straight after the welfare cases and reduce those benefits, but doing nothing to help those of us who want to buy our own health insurance on the free market, which, by the way, would be about $50 a month. And how do I know that? Because in addition to my utterly useless Obamacare-approved health care plan, $700 a month, can't go to Memorial Sloan Kettering, can't go to the hospital of special surgery, because my premiums are paying for illegal aliens and everybody else's marital counseling and pregnancies. I also have a Christian health care plan, which isn't by law allowed to call itself insurance, but they got an exemption from Obamacare saying, look, we're Christian groups. We pool our money. We take care of our own. All I have to do is say I don't need, pregnancy or child benefits, and it isn't that much more even if you're paying for the pregnancy benefits. It's less than $50 a month. That's what it would be. Everyone would buy it because it would be so cheap. When you expand it from beyond just the Christians out there, because you do have to be a Christian to belong to this one, probably other religious groups can have their own. I'm sure it wasn't just for Christians.
Right.
In any event, think of that. Well, once you expand it to everyone, all the young, healthy people, theirs will probably be $20 a month. You will get rid of 80% of the people, at least 80% of the people, now stuck with Obamacare, and then we can concentrate on the next year on the best way to deliver health care to the poor and the unfortunate, which is going to be at most 20% of the population.
Ann Coulter is with us, of course. She's the book of In Trump We Trust, The Pluribus Awesome, and we're very happy to have her here back on the Zeoli Show on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. So then, when people are blaming, say, the Conservative Freedom Caucus, and they're saying, hey, they were too far out here, and the president might be blaming them a little bit, I think they would love a plan like you're just outlining right now.
I think so, too. When this comes out Wednesday, if all of your listeners could send it to your congressmen and senators, it's such a simple plan. And, it will – that's the first step. They keep saying, this has to be done in steps. Well, you can't really do the free market in steps, but just give us the free market and don't repeal Obamacare. You can keep all that stuff for people who want it, but people who now think they're benefiting from Obamacare, when they see their neighbors getting good health insurance plans for $50 a month, they're going to say, screw these Obamacare marketplaces. I'm not going to, go to the DMV to see a doctor. I'm going to get one of these free market health insurance plans. We'll have little geckos on TV advertising them. But it's weird in a world that we're as I've written, when Yeltsin, as the Soviet Union was collapsing, Yeltsin came over to America. It seems hard to believe that they didn't understand capitalism, but it seems hard to believe that congressmen don't understand capitalism. Yeltsin famously went into a grocery store someplace in Texas, I think it was Austin, and was blown away by the orange juice line. He couldn't believe how many different varieties of orange juice orange juice and strawberry, orange juice and mango, and you have pulp and non-pulp. And he actually asked Margaret Thatcher at some point, but how do you know how to set the price of bread? No, we don't want politicians doing this. The free market does it because insurance companies want to sell us good products at good prices. They compete with one another with the most benefits and the best, phone operators and response time. They compete with one another. I don't want Paul Ryan setting the premiums. I want an insurance company competing for my business to be setting it. If we could just have a free market in health insurance, like I say, you take care of, there's some people, with the ones with pre-existing conditions, the ones born or who have kids or whatever with some astronomically expensive health problem. We're not going to let them die on the street. You don't have to worry about that. We're Americans. We're nice people. But let's separate those cases out and pay for them through the general fund the way all other welfare is paid for, and that's through a general income tax, not through Ann's insurance premiums.
Ann Coulter, the question then would be, can this plan pass this Republican Congress?
Well, I think it can. I was listening to the chat on TV today, and the plan always seems to be, in order to get Democrat votes, we have to accede to their demands. No, I'm thinking we have to get Democrat votes by presenting a plan that it is impossible for them to vote against. How are Democrats going to explain that they are opposed to allowing American companies to sell products that consumers want to buy? No, we will not allow that to happen. Or will they just come out and tell us, Well, to fund this welfare program, we wanted to keep the Wall Street fat cats. We wanted to keep their income taxes low. That's why we're not funding Obamacare, health care through a general tax revenue. We're funding it through your insurance premiums, middle-class America. They're stuck either way, and they're going to have to run on their votes. So how about presenting a plan that is so appealing and so impossible to vote against, as I think I've suggested? That's how you get Democrat votes, not by saying, okay, we'll give you a little socialism.
And Coulter, last question for you, because I know that you obviously, as you mentioned, are a Trump fan. I mean, the book is called In Trump We Trust. So, clearly you trust the guy, you like him. But there's a lot of people out there who night and day, their job, they think, is to bring this guy down. NBC News just announced they hired Josh Earnest, the former Obama press secretary, to be part of their NBC News team. What do you make of that?
Trump was right. Among the things I love about Trump, most of all is his policies, but him going after the mainstream media and calling them fake news is incredibly important. I can't think of another Republican who would have done it. The media scream bloody murder as if what he's against is a free press. No, he didn't say I'm against a press. He's against fake news, not real news. They're on the side of Leni Riefenstahl and the Nazi propagandists. It is stunning, the lies that are printed in the New York Times. I used to expect the New York Times to be at least journalists. Yeah, okay, they were lefties, but the New York Times is indistinguishable from Salon now.
I agree with you on that point. I'd say Salon's a little bit better than the New York Times right now.
Probably.
They update the site more frequently, so there's that, But NBC News tries to claim that it's still a news organization when it hires. And then ABC, of course, is George Stephanopoulos hosting their Sunday morning political show.
Oh, no, it's shocking. It's appalling. Clinton's bag man. It is just pure propaganda, and thank heaven for talk radio, the Internet, Breitbart News, Drudge. I used to, watch it, go to the liberal sites, read the New York Times daily. It's become a joke, Rich. It's not even fun. It's not interesting. The New York Times, I have friends. I'm out in L.A. now. A lot of Hollywood writer friends. A lot of them came from the Harvard Crimson and have been journalists their whole life. They're all giving up their New York Times subscriptions, whether they were for Trump or not. They just say, all it is Trump is ugly. Trump is stupid. We go to the sports pages. Trump's bad at golf. Go to the cooking pages. The food sucks at Mar-a-Lago. It's just Trump hate on every page with no actual facts.
All right, Ann Coulter, you are going to unveil this plan on Wednesday. We'll make sure that we post it. We'll make sure people call their congressmen and their senators about it, okay?
Excellent. We will solve health care in America.
Ann Coulter, In Trump We Trust, Deploribus, awesome. Thanks, my friend. Great to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.